I've answered the question, how can I hide my activity on LinkedIn, numerous times. I've got at least 3 videos on YouTube, and I guarantee you there's 20 plus answers on Quora on this topic. Been asked this question since way back in 2000. The answer, by the way, for those who don't know, is you can't. You cannot hide your activity, your post, your comments, your likes, even your emoticons. You can't hide any of that on LinkedIn. This video is going to be all about why. Why can't I do that? And in answering the question why, I hope to help those who struggle with this issue. I hope to help them understand the benefits of allowing your activity to be seen on LinkedIn. And I'm also going to share some ideas on how to help protect ourselves so that there's not content out there that we don't want people to see. So I have 6 bullet points in my list here that I want to talk about. Here's bullet point number 1. What is LinkedIn? It's a social networking site. It's not just a social media site. It's a social networking site. And understanding that, when I go to bullet point number 2, it'll start making sense. Bullet point number 2. In networking, you show up where a group of people are who are relevant to you and or of interest to you, maybe people you want to get to know, maybe people you can help, and you do this. You get into conversations. That's what networking is all about. The ability to show up where a group of people are who are relevant to you in lots of different ways and be willing to get into conversations. Therefore, if LinkedIn is a social networking site, the same thing applies. Be willing to show up, be willing to build a network, be willing to build a following of people who are relevant to you in some way or another, and be willing to get into a conversation. That's the core concept behind LinkedIn and social networking. All right, let's talk about bullet point number 3 I have. And bullet point number 3, I have 3 different pieces of that. And it's really about LinkedIn. All the pieces of LinkedIn. There's 3 primary pieces. Number 1 is your LinkedIn profile. Boom. You got to make sure that's right. That's a given. And whatever right is for you, it might be different for me, but it's really all about telling people who you are, what you do, and how you create value. Section 2 on this bullet point is you have to build a LinkedIn networking. Your LinkedIn network should be people who are relevant to you in lots of different ways. And you're not just collecting digital business cards, LinkedIn connections. You're making these connections and being willing to get into a one-on-one private conversation with them. Again, it's networking. Now, part 3 of this bullet point. And that is, you got a LinkedIn profile, you have a LinkedIn network, you might also have followers. But none of that is of any value. Let me repeat, none of that is of any real value if you're not engaging, if you're not showing up and participating in conversations, if you're not showing up and sharing relevant and useful information that others can consume. Because it's the activity on LinkedIn that takes your LinkedIn account, your LinkedIn presence to a whole nother level. Profile and network only are valuable to a higher level if you're willing to engage, i.e. your activity. Number 4. Number 4 is in real life networking and in social networking, you have to remember this. I call this my safety net. Never do, say, or engage in any way that you don't want to be seen, heard, or perceived of in life. Let me say another way. Never do anything on LinkedIn. Post, comment, reply, hit the like button on any content or with any content if it could negatively impact your personal or professional brand. That is vital. Now, I get it. A lot of the complaints about wanting to hide their content is they want to get into a conversation with someone about a job. They want to get into a conversation about something they don't want their boss to know about. They want to get into a conversation about something they don't want their friends to know about. I get that. I do that on a regular basis. I get into conversations with people that are not public. And so if you want to get into these conversations with people, make them private. Use the public reply, comment, etc. to find these people or discover these people or be discovered by these people, but move those conversations that you don't want others to know about into messaging, into a phone call, into a text message, into a Zoom call, not on a public social networking site. Nobody's going to judge you by saying hello to someone else that may be irrelevant to your current job. Nobody's going to judge you for saying hello to someone who's doing something that interests you, but it's not your job. If you're just commenting politely and relevantly that content. But where we get into trouble is when our comment, our reply is a little more personal, a little more private, a little more confidential, and we're doing that TMI thing publicly. So figure out a way to engage with the people that you don't want your boss to know about. Figure out a way to engage with those people that you don't want your marketing company to hear about. Figure out a way to engage with them publicly so that you can pull them into a private conversation. This is vital. This is absolutely vital. All right, number 5. By the way, did you know that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and many others operate the same way LinkedIn does? Your post, you control the audience of your post when you make the post, but you cannot control the audience of your comments, your likes, and your replies. That's controlled by the individual post. Go look at it. When you comment on Facebook, there's no way to hide it. When you reply to someone on Facebook or Instagram, there's no way to hide it. It's controlled by the post, not by you. LinkedIn's no different than anyone else, for what that's worth. All right, here's my last statement. And that is, understand what I just shared with you. LinkedIn is a social networking site. It's designed to be public when you comment, you reply, and you post, because that's how you get value in social networking. It's how you get the best value for your business or your career. Now, in this same statement, if you're not happy about that, you have 2 choices. Never do anything on LinkedIn, which I think would be a missed opportunity, or close down your account and move on. There's nothing else you can do. You can't change LinkedIn. You can't change LinkedIn systems. It's a social networking site. So what can you change? You can change your habits, change your activities, and change your expectations. Better understand, and you will be able to get better value. Don't try to change something you can't change. I hope this rant, I hope this why is beneficial to you, and I look forward to seeing you engaging on LinkedIn.